We are live now. And then,
Heyo.
Yo, Cody, how's it going?
Yo, welcome to the Blimp Club.
We're blimping it.
Our freshest new lounge in the park.
Yes. Cody, welcome to the Throwback Show.
Hey.
How you doing?
Doing pretty well.
Can you make sure you lean into the mic, please?
Oh, sure. Is the mic hot?
Oh, this is a hot mic.
It's a hot mic.
Very much a hot mic here, my guy.
Yeah. I didn't program any lights into it yet.
No.
Don't really know for live.
So, Cody, do you want to tell us what we got going on here in the world of Throwback Studios?
I guess we have a sort of live broadcasting blimp situation going on, which if you had told me that this was going to be where we ended up in a year, I would have said, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, for those of you who are curious and joining us live here on TikTok, we are up in the blimp. And if you look out over here, this is the Derby Baseball VR map, and we are up here in the blimp having the absolute time of our lives. And Cody, how's your holidays been, man? How's it been?
The holiday's been good. It's been I was kind of, I don't know, hoping we get some snow where I am, but I think like a lot of parts of the country, it's been pretty warm, pretty rainy, which is weird for where I live. So I don't know. Doesn't quite feel like winter, which is why being in the Derby Park feels so nice. It's like a winter wonderland here every day.
Yeah, I'm getting a couple questions here in the chat asking, first one says, I'm in your server. Thank you for saying you're in the server. L Dirtbike says, game name. It is Derby Baseball VR. That is the game.
Here. Derby, live.
Yes, it's live, baby. Cody, can you explain also just the technology that you have built here to enable this podcast to exist?
Sure. So there's like a couple layers, and one, we're in the game on our headsets together in your private park. So for those of you watching and also playing Derby, you are probably in a different park than we are. So we're in your private park right now. And so, which is kind of a bummer because like I kind of wish that we had some like action happening behind us. And so I think that's sort of the trade-off is, do you want to be the chaos of the players, or sort of have the quiet solitude of your own park?
Yeah.
But that's why we built private parks, so you could have a quiet space to talk, to play, to hang, and I think that's what's great about private parks. So
agreed. Joseph in the chat says hi to Joseph. Hope you're having a great afternoon or night or whatever.
What's up, Joseph?
What up, Joseph in the chat?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays to everybody. Hi to Warning, Antonio Boy 12. Thank you to everybody joining us.
You know what we need? We need to pipe in the TikTok feed here so that you don't have to like do both.
Well, we do need both. We need both. Maybe on the because if we're doing our jobs well, I feel like I'm facing you to here.
Yeah, the camera's like over there.
Camera is right there. But okay. And then, can you explain to everybody what we are doing this week with Throwback Studios? What is the plan for all of the updates? Because I saw you posted an update pretty late last night.
So we had this event that we've been calling Happy Homer Days, which we launched, I think, last week.
Yep.
Can't really keep track of time anymore. But as part of that, we're giving away lots of stuff. We're giving away peanuts. We got gifts for new players. I think because of Christmas, we've got a ton of new players these last couple days. And so we wanted to give a lot of the new players an opportunity to buy some cosmetics, check out our shop, learn how to use the clipboard, all that good stuff. So as part of the event, we've just been trying to push out more frequent updates. And so we're really planning on trying to update every day and add new content to the game.
Nice. So an update, your hat is expanding, your hat disappears into your chair. So you might need to
that's not good. I can lean
scoot it a little bit for the optics.
Back. I'm like sitting in a real chair right now.
You got to talk right into the mic there.
Oh man, there we go. That feels real professional.
Now we're really pro podcasting. So this is an update every day. I feel like we're not able. A lot of VR teams aren't able to do that. Can you explain why that's so special?
I think it's mostly because we're such a small team.
Yeah.
I'm our only developer right now, and we don't really have sort of like a big testing cycle. We have a lot of players, but we also are so close to them that we like hear what the issues are when bugs pop up. So we just have like a really tight like development cycle, which is really exciting. And so it sort of allows us to ship stuff really, really fast, figure out what things aren't working. We sort of treat it all as like a beta test. And a lot of games will have these sort of like separate channels or groups, which we tried a little bit this year, to have sort of like a curated community to help us, which worked for some things. But I think for something like this week, where if we want to ship an update every single day, then just sort of like keeping up the cadence of that as fast as possible is something that we can do because it's just the two of us.
I think that so much of VR is like VR creation and engineering is actually creativity and then also energy management. And so when we get more comments, if videos pop off, if we get a lot of players joining and sharing the game, all of a sudden it creates, a fun and a little bit of a scary fire under our butts to deliver even greater and more fun experiences as fast as possible. And I also think so many people are getting headsets right now because of the holidays. And so a lot of teams ramping up into the holidays will be like, ooh, we're going to ship a bunch of stuff. But now, like we're kind of taking the opposite track, which is like, oh, we'll do a bunch of updates after the holidays while everybody's home on break, at home, not much to do. And you'll get to see Derby change every day here on our TikTok, our YouTube, whatever. I think that's also a different path that most teams don't take, also because they're usually a little bit larger.
Yeah, and I think there is this sort of like time period between now and like after New Year's when a lot of our players like go back to school and a lot of people go back to work. And so there really is just like this time between sort of like Christmas and then New Year's where a lot of people are home. A lot of people are sort of like taking time with their family. Sometimes they might need an escape from their family, which VR is also really good for. And so it's sort of like the perfect headset time right now. I don't know if you feel that way after spending a lot of time with your family the last few days and probably having a headset. It's one of the best parts about VR is that, especially with like a standalone device like the Quest, you can just escape into a bedroom and play 20 minutes of Derby or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing some questions here in the chat from Colton. I have a question. Colton, fire away. Jake, how do I get this game? It is called Derby. It says here on our wall. It's called Derby Baseball VR. Search that up, and you will find it on the MetaQuest app. Just check it out in App Lab. Does the game cost money? The game is free, and we're just doing a little podcast here within the game. The game is free, in fact. Yeah, I think that the escapism. I also think so many people like. I don't know. I am always nervous about turning the camera on, and I think that's something that's really enticing about this as like a recording medium and content medium is like, if I am over the holidays, like I might not be taking a shower. I might be just lounging in my like jammies or sweatpants or whatever,
Sure.
and I don't want to turn the camera on. But if I'm here and I got a headset on it, all right, I'm cool to do I have never recorded a live podcast with you. I don't think we ever would. But like, this is great.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because like in Derby, and we've gotten a lot of questions about this, and I know you and I have gone back and forth about avatars in virtual reality spaces, and I think we've been a little hesitant to implement full body avatars, especially avatars that like have eyes, have expressions and things like that. And I think part of the reason why I like the way that we have designed it so far is that it does really feel like I can sort of not have to worry about my appearance too, which is like one thing that VR already provides, which is like, if I have an avatar, sure, it always like looks the same once I customize it, and I don't have to worry about like dressing up in that way. But I feel like we've taken it one step further, which is like, no, you're just like a hat, and some bats. And so like you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about like expressions or even like I don't know, communicating some sort of human like identity. We can just be bats and hats in the game. And I like that a lot.
Yeah. Shout out to Reggie and Pickle VR. Hey, what's up? What's up?
Ooh, Pickle VR, what's up?
What up, guys? Oh, guys, thank you for the roses. Mason, I got a question too. When's the next update? Cody, when is the next update? So we're planning on updating every day. I know that we ran into some private park bugs this afternoon that we were not expecting.
I think that's the tricky thing about game development is that oftentimes you'll hear about these games that take years longer than they were supposed to before they launch, and it's because there's so many unanticipated things that come up and take longer than you had sort of planned for in your roadmap, more so than like any other medium. I think game development is one that's like notoriously difficult to sometimes predict, and so that definitely happened to us today, especially because I don't have a team to really help me. So like if something comes up, I'm really the only one to sort of dig through the code and try to figure out what the problem is. And so, for example, today in testing this podcast and sort of the private park matchmaking that we're doing right now, which is we can have this podcast in your private park, we ran into some new bugs that we just hadn't encountered before. And so, you know, that set me back, 4 hours, 5 hours, which I had allocated to our other features, because initially we wanted to plan to add things like pitching and we have a new versus mode, which we can talk about a little bit. And both of those things are still coming this week. It's just not to like push those things back when a bug takes me 5 hours to fix.
Yeah. Well, and I know that we did a lot of Sammy in our Discord earlier today was kind of saying that teams, they'll do Easter eggs about what's coming in the next updates, and we don't really do that. We more just say what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people, they like the way that we develop. Oh, I'm seeing Daddy VR in the chat. Hi, Daddy VR. What's up?
What
Daddy?
Daddy?
But I think that a lot of people expect a certain thing from game developers, and I feel like we don't fit a lot of those expectations. And like one thing is like most game developers, the way that they express themselves is solely through their game. And like it's starting to change where more game developers are embracing video, they're embracing YouTube and TikTok. But like we are a TikTok and video first dev team, and like to us, I feel like our Easter eggs are more like in our videos than in our game.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because you'll post videos about features that we're working on before we ship them. So
yeah,
as opposed to like trying to make stuff secret and sometimes like ask what players want, we're always talking to the players and then sort of saying, oh yeah, that's a great idea, let's implement that in the next update. And so I think that was part of the incentive for this week for Happy Homer Days, is just like collect more feedback and like, oh, what are the things you want to see maybe tomorrow in the game, and then we can try and implement those.
Well, also Daddy VR says today is my birthday.
Ooh,
well, happy birthday. Yeah, I think, has there ever been a time where I have annoyed you by putting something into a video?
I'm trying to think recently. I don't think so. I mean, I was just sort of assume you're recording at this point, which you used to tell me. You're like, oh, heads up, I'm recording. But now you don't even tell me. You're just like, you're obviously recording at every point. So
yeah,
I just assume that anything we're sort of doing in the game is going to end up in a video.
Oh, we got a great question in the chat. Are those microphone bats? Yes.
These are microphone bats.
Yes. So the one down here, this is just a pure black bat. And then up here, the microphone bat is like kind of a black bottom. And then there's microphone texture and then a little silver strip, just like the top of a microphone would be. Good question. You knew it. Yeah.
This is a bat skin.
I thought about maybe having them like come in over the top, like a lot of like the pro podcasters have, like the big
with the
arms.
boom.
Yeah, the boom. But you know, we keep it simple here at Throwback.
Yeah.
Hi, Cash.
I forget what I called this bat scan. It's like maybe I called it hot mic or drop the mic.
Drop the mic.
I named the skin.
There are no physics with this mic yet.
There's no physics.
There's no hitbox. If we added a collider to this, it would just go.
Sure. Yeah. There's no
That could be-
colliders on the bat. So one thing I was experimenting actually with this week. So this is an example of something that like I mess with that doesn't end up in the game.
Yeah.
But you'll notice that in Derby, your bats don't like collide with anything in the game, right? They sort of like pass through all of the other objects. And so
Yeah.
we had to, like, for this new versus mode, we basically designed like a new interaction system so like your bat can interact with other things around you.
Yeah.
And so I really messed with the physics a bit. And in Unity, we call this like rigid body physics, where you sort of give it like shape and sort of tell it how it can or can't interact with other things around you. And so that's when I started to play with, oh, what if your bats like really did collide with every object sort of around you? But it's sort of I don't know, it doesn't always work in VR. Like some games sort of like if I was to try to move my bat, well, like let's say through the window, right? And if there was a collider, like my bat would stop, but my hand would keep going.
Yeah.
And to me, that feels weird. Like when your hand is trying to do something, because it's not really like I'm holding the bats. It's more like my hands are the bats, which is part of the reason why I think our physics feels so good, is because you really feel like you have a good amount of control over the bats. But the downside of that is that it can like pass through things.
Yeah.
We call that kinematic physics in Unity. So I did play around with it colliding with stuff, but it just, I don't know, it doesn't feel good. Like I don't like it.
Yeah. I was curious, Code, did you try any VR games out this holiday that you are interested in trying out? Or have you tried any out, or are you interested in trying out that you've seen on the store for the holidays?
Ooh, that's a good one. I haven't been trying a ton of stuff. I do really want to try the new Lego mixed reality game.
Yeah.
That's on Quest 3. And so I haven't used my Quest 3 a ton.
Yeah.
Since I mainly developed on Quest 2 because that's like what most of our players have.
Yeah.
And so I know you've been using your Quest 3 a lot more than I have.
I traveled with mine.
Yeah. It's lighter. I mean, I like it. It definitely feels cooler. And so I think I've mostly been meaning to dive into some of the newer mixed reality apps to see how they do pass through. Because that is something that we've been talking about, is what would a mixed reality version of Derby look like?
Yeah. Especially, I heard some rumors that some of the mixed reality games that are like top of the store made like tens of millions of dollars. Like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because there's not that many of them, too.
Yeah.
It's like there's probably only like a dozen, I think, approved in the
so
store
you can
right
get
now.
like top 10 mixed reality game on Quest, and then that list is like front and center to sell the 3, and then those devs just, they're swimming in it.
Yeah.
Pretty smart.
Do you think those games are free?
Those games are not free, Cody. People that make paid games actually make money.
We don't care about money.
All right. From Combine made you come up with the idea to create Derby. Okay. Do you want to take that one, Code, or do you want me to take that one?
Well, there are two phases. I feel like there's your personal hometown story, which you can tell, and then there's the story of our 2 summers ago, where we sort of came up with the idea for like Derby itself.
Okay, so I'll take the first part and I'll tell it as fast as I possibly can. Okay, so I grew up in South Pasadena, California, and I grew up in a neighborhood that had a park at the end of it. And there was a big oak tree in the middle, and every summer we would actually make a league where you could like enter a draft, you do tryouts, and then people draft you, and then there are teams. And this is all amongst like 12-year-olds. And like we would like mow the grass, and we'd play tennis ball, baseball. It was like sandlot baseball, but in our neighborhood park. And so I was like, oh, that was so fun. And it was like a hallmark of my childhood. And it really, baseball was so important to me as a kid. So that was just kind of a thing that was always in my head, that was a really precious and fun moment and memory in my life. And then, 2 summers ago, I was with Cody, and we had tried other stuff, guys, in the chat. I don't know if you know this, but if you go on our Instagram, actually, you can see we made other apps. We made a live streaming app for like group chats. We made all these other things that we tried that didn't quite work. But 2 summers ago, Cody and I, we were like, should we stop working on stuff and just like go get jobs? And what were we doing, Cody? You tell that story.
We were at a sort of like family retreat down in Los Angeles. We were on this like golf course that I don't know, we had like our rental house was like on the outside edge of this golf course. So we were like out there with like my family, and then you came out hang with us for a bit, and we were just like standing on the edge of this golf course, and next to us was a lime tree, and there were just like a ton of limes on this lime tree that were like not good. Like tried to put them in drinks, and they just like weren't ripe, but there was like a ton of them. So we started pulling them off this tree, and then we started challenging each other to throw the limes as far as we could. And so we started to make these like stupid bets about who could throw the lime the farthest, who could sort of like hit a target that they want, like who could make it into the sand trap sort of first. And so we had this like series of throwing challenges, and then we came up with the idea for Derby. We're like, wouldn't this be fun to do in virtual reality, where we just sort of had like stupid physics-based bets, and we could just sort of like play like games together and do things like throw or hit balls like as far as you could with other players.
Yeah,
so that was the idea. We called it "Wanna Bet" was the first version.
Yeah, there was a lot of betting based ideas, which, you know, that's fine.
Well, you need some sort of like, you need a hook for the challenge, right? Like you sort of need an incentive. Yeah, and like it doesn't matter if it's like, it could be, you know, peanuts, it could be blades of grass, it could be, you know, like sodas. It doesn't really like matter what the currency of it is, but I mean, I see this with my kids all the time. Is like as soon as you put some sort of like incentive on the challenge or the bet, then it really ups the stakes and makes it more fun.
Yeah. Zengu GT, what's up in the chat? Colton, thanks for the heart meat, and the Banana Mans for the love you. Colton, thanks for the 10 roses. You guys, this is great. Yeah, and I think it's hard to do throwing in VR, and so I think that was also a moment where we were like, oh, should we do throwing or should we have it be bats? Because like we were afraid of people like there are so many people already that will tell us like, hi Jordan, I love your game, your videos, I want to play the game, but I broke all my controllers, and I or like I have only, you know, one semi-working controller. Yeah. And we were realizing people had to like were throwing and breaking their controllers and then not getting replacements. And so we thought, oh gosh, we shouldn't have something where if you're letting go, you could launch your head.
Yeah, I mean that was a big problem. That was a big problem with the Nintendo Wii, like when the Wii came out, because I can't remember if they didn't launch with a strap or like if the strap was sort of like optional. I don't know. I think when they launched the console, they didn't do a good job of like enforcing and like telling parents, hey, if you're going to use this to play something like Wii Sports, like you got to wear the strap, because players were just like chucking their control, like their you know, Wii controllers like into TVs. And so like the amount of TVs that I think got posted that had like Wii controllers stuck in the middle of them was just crazy. And so I think same problem with VR, like you have these touch controllers, and swinging is not so bad because you're gripping it sort of tightly and feels like you have more control over it. But as soon as we started to mess with throw mechanics, it was like, oh, this is going to be a problem for a lot of players if you're not actually wearing the straps, which I'm guilty of too. Like I never wear this.
I'm no right now.
I'm strapless as well.
Yeah. Yo, Pickle VR. I bought the Derby membership today. You guys, thank you to everybody who's bought the Derby membership. It is the best way to support me and Cody as we make Derby and, you know, this game, other VR games, maybe even games on other things besides VR headsets. So thank you guys so much for really appreciate that. Cody, I'm realizing it is 8:01 in the PM.
Oh God, I have a meeting to get to.
You have a meeting.
Oh no, I have a late meeting tonight.
Get on it. No.
Bummer. Gotta cut our podcast short here.
I know we have to cut the Derby podcast short. I will on to chat with chat. But Cody, thank you so much for joining in your busy night. And thank you for all the fun updates. This is incredible.
Yeah, we're gonna keep crunching this week. So any ideas that you have, let us know. I'm gonna put out an update tonight, but I think it's mostly like fixes of stuff. It's like nothing gonna be too crazy. But I will say the other things that we're working on are pitching. So we're gonna have some like snowball fights that I'm hoping can be done by tomorrow.
Let's go.
And then we've got our new versus mode, which is actually what my meeting is about tonight. So I got to finish some of the last pieces on that.
Very good. Well, Cody, say bye to chat. Bye, guys. They're saying bye, Cody from Pickle VR and Combine. Thank you, guys.
Thanks
Cody,
for watching.
Yeah, of course.
I'll be back in the blimp soon.
All right, sounds good. Later, bro.
All right, later.
See you, dude. Back to the feed. Oh my god, guys, that worked. Oh no, I know, Evan. I wish that he could stay. All right, well, here, let me reorient myself so that I can look at chat and, so I can be looking at chat and at you guys. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm still here, guys. All right. Any other questions here for us in the Derby Blimp? All right. Questions coming in. Yeah, good question about what made us come up with the game. What games are you guys playing for all you VR players out there? What are you guys playing right now? Oh, Colton, thank you for this. Oh my god, so many roses. You guys, do you guys like this as a format? I feel like this really works. I feel like this would be cool. I feel like we could put this on YouTube. Yeah? I want so that you guys can do a podcast like this. Oh my god. I'm a businessman. Fluid, you guys go follow Fluid. Fluid makes really great software. Those guys are a great team. We appreciate them a ton. Fellow VR devs. Zengu, I'm a businessman. Well, you know, we try to be businessmen. We try to have a good time with it, and I mean, it's not a business without you guys. You guys are the ones that give us the feedback to help us make the game better. Oh my god, CR7, thank you for the 62 flowers, roses. Jeez, thank you guys. Any other questions? Any other concerns, comments, feedback? We did record this straight up, so I think we are going to put this on our YouTube because why the heck not? Trying to get partnered. We are going to try to get this out to everybody, though. I think it would be cool because a lot of people don't right now. So the stream you're watching, you right there, what you guys are watching is on Unity. So it's like a Unity file that's running on my PC, and then I'm streaming that on OBS. But I have like a full-on crazy gaming PC, and Codexter's in the chat. But what I think would be cool is if we made it so that the Unity file could run on your phone, so that you could stream to TikTok and YouTube from your phone. Then that would be the move. Wait. Also, I don't have to be. I can be here, can't I? Heyo. How's everybody doing? Hi. What's up, Tech Savage? Tech Savage, you've been making some great videos, by the way. So shout out to you. Any other comments, guys? Any other feedback, ideas? Any other hot takes? I'm doing good. How about you? I am doing great, guys. This really fires me up. I think that, I mean, it's always, you guys are on TikTok. If you guys make videos, you know, like, you never know what's going to work. We've had 511 views on this, and it's just, you know, me and Cody. I think this is an interesting format, and I think more people are going to do podcasts in VR. So can I join you? Not yet. So this is only available to me as a content creator, but everything that I do for me, we try to scale to everybody. So basically, like, Cody's basically like, that's why Cody and I are such a great team, right? Is you know, here all have a concept, and his is from VR or content, or like both of us were thinking about the VR and how the content, how they work together, right? So all the time we're trying to figure out, can we make the game better so that the content gets better? And a big part of that is cameras and streaming and getting stuff out to you guys so that you can make your own content as well. So right now that's just videos, but I think eventually we'll do, like, what if you could make your own game within Derby? I think that's a big thing. So I don't know. But eventually you'll be able to join me in here. Yeah. GM Loves, thank you for the follow. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Any other questions? What made us make this game? What made us make the game? Well, we already talked about this earlier. So we're going to upload this to our YouTube. So if you subscribe, CGT Dozy, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not seeing some of your comments. What made you make the game? So we actually did We talked about that earlier in the podcast. So check it out on our YouTube, and we'll upload this on YouTube probably tonight. But what made us make the game is that we needed something to work, and we knew we had made a baseball game before in VR, and we knew that it is something that people enjoy. We just needed a way to make it for the modern player of VR. Make it free, multiplayer on MetaQuest. Music GT. Sorry, I had to mute you. You can't just say hi forever. Anyway, guys, I think this is a successful test. We're going to try to get this going all the time because I think it's a really good idea. Let me know if you guys want access to your own Derby podcasting booth up in the Blimp. And thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. You guys are the best community. We appreciate you a ton. Thank you for giving us a chance with Derby and blowing it up. It really has, I don't know, it's changed my life. It's definitely changed Cody's life for sure. It's been great. Oh, what's our YouTube name? It is Throwback VR. It's the same thing as our TikTok. Stick VR, thanks for the follow. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Happy holidays to everybody who is celebrating the holidays right now. Hope you guys have a great new year, and we'll talk to you all tomorrow. All right? Bye! And look for the update tonight. Look for it.